How's everybody doing today? Just a pickup. I went to my local Blockbuster and picked up 6 films. 2 are rentals, and the rest I purchased right there. And first up, I checked out The Collector. Now I noticed a couple of these, like The Collector as well as The Collector and another one in here. I checked on Amazon. They aren't going to be released until March 30th, but I've seen them there for a long time, like at least a month at my local Blockbuster. And check this out, and I actually really enjoy this movie. It's, I will say that it has a lot of faults, but it's still very enjoyable. To me, it's kind of like the Saw movies meets Home Alone, but from a different angle. It's really good. It's from the Twisted Minds that brought you Saw 4, 5, and 6. I'm not a big fan of the Saw series, honestly, but I did really enjoy this movie. And I will say, right from the beginning, though, I figured out who the Collector was. And I think generally you can kind of get a grasp for it right away, and you see that right after there's one scene, and then there's kind of like the introduction where they say who produced it and all that kind of stuff, and that part of the introduction part kind of reminded me of an old like Nine Inch Nails kind of music video, but that kind of led a little bit, and then you see another scene, and that's when I just immediately figured out like that's who it is. But even though that happened, I still enjoyed it, and there's certain other little parts that that I called ahead of time. It's very predictable in some aspects, but still an enjoyable movie. And I wish they would have gone more in depth about the Collector himself. I don't know. There's, if you've seen this movie, definitely let me know what you think of it. I definitely enjoyed it. I would give it 4 out of 5 stars. I hope they make more of this series actually, because they left it so they could still make some more. And I hope they do, because I enjoyed it, and I would say recommend it. There's some good gore. So definitely, there's a couple parts where I was like, ooh. There's one part in particular where there's one guy in a basement. The lead guy, by the way, he reminds me of David Arquette a little bit. But there's one part where he meets the Collector, and the Collector has him, and he does this thing where he has this little jar, and I'm not going to tell you too much about it, but that scene kind of freaked me out a little bit. But some good stuff. And some of the special features they have, a couple deleted scenes. I think there was like 2 or 3 deleted scenes, and an alternate ending. The alternate ending was retarded. I mean, it was just one part in the movie that they just didn't, where they would end it there, and of course you knew they weren't going to end it there. So, and also there was a music video over here by Nico Vega. It's called The Beast, and it plays at the end of the movie, and it was just a phenomenal song, and the music video is amazing. Definitely check that music video if they have it online somewhere. Beautiful mixture of the music was perfect for the scenes in this movie. Just perfect. The music video, mwah, superb. And again, it's from the writers of Saw 4, 5, and 6. Next up is The Fourth Kind. It's about aliens, and aliens freak me out, so I had to check it out. Mila Jovovich is in it, and I was disappointed in this movie, to be honest. It went back and forth between documentary and the movie itself. It's based on true events, and they had this psychiatrist there in this small Alaska town, and they would have the recordings, the actual recordings, and stuff like that. And I don't know. I kind of just wish they would have done either one or the other. It didn't mesh well, essentially. So I don't know. I would rent that like about average. I was disappointed in it. And the next ones that I actually purchased. And next up is I Sell the Dead, a British comedy, well, horror comedy, if you will. And this was brought to you by Larry Fessenden, who also did The Last Winter. He produced The Last Winter as well. And Wendigo. I didn't really care for Wendigo, but I liked The Last Winter. Last Winter was alright. And then this also stars Ron Perlman, who was also in The Last Winter. You may know him from Hellboy and Sons of Anarchy and just a ton of movies. Dominic Monaghan from Lord of the Rings trilogy is in it, and also Angus Schrimm from the Phantasm series, the Tall Man. He's in it as well. And this is a good, funny movie. At first I was like, I'm not sure if I'm going to like it, but then overall I didn't. It was very enjoyable. It's about 19th century grave robbers, and just they run into zombies, essentially. And it was a fun movie. It's highly entertaining. I would definitely say add it to your collection. I definitely, at first I went in there, I was a little apprehensive, but then by the end of the movie I was like, this was highly entertaining. I'm glad that I picked it up. But like I said, I actually picked this up at my local Blockbuster. I bought it, and it was in the preview section for at least a month. And I noticed on Amazon it has a release date of March 30th. And I noticed this has happened a few times where I've picked up things from Amazon, from Blockbuster, and Amazon has a release date like a month later. And I wonder if that's just like a special from Blockbuster, or I don't know. It's kind of weird, but I'm glad I picked it up. There you go. If anybody knows about that, by the way, just let me know. If you've seen the movie, let me know what you think of it too. I definitely recommend it. Next up, Thirst from director Park Chan-wook. He did the Vengeance trilogy, I'm a Cyborg but That's Okay, Joint Security Area, now Thirst right here. It's a pretty good film. It's, you know, if you're a fan of his work, you'd probably be a fan of this film. Very weird. It's about a priest who becomes a vampire through a blood transfusion, and it's kind of got a little bit of a love story. He falls for this basically crazy girl who's just out of her mind, and she becomes a vampire, and just all kinds of craziness. I like the end scene. That was my favorite part of the movie, the end scene. Definitely, there's some stuff that just caught me off guard. Like the whole movie, there was no nudity, and then there was like one scene towards the end where the lead actor, you see his junk, and I could have done without that really. That seemed unnecessary, and I don't know. It was just a crazy kind of film. It was some beautiful cinematography, very nicely shot, very nicely done overall. Thirst, I would say definitely check it out. If you're a fan of his movies, you'll be a fan of this film. And the lead actress in it, man, did she have some fugly feet. I could have done without seeing that too, but what can you do? Interesting take on the vampire genre. Winner of the Cannes International Film Festival Jury Prize, 2009. Next up is UHF with Weird Al Yankovic and Michael Richards as well. Fran Drescher's in it, a few other people as well. Kind of a crazy, wacky movie. If you're a fan of Weird Al, you'll be a fan of this movie. Some great lines in this movie. Lesbian Nazi hookers abducted by UFOs and forced into weight loss programs all next week with Town Talk. That was my favorite line of the whole thing. Great line. I picked this up as $3.99 at Blockbuster, so I decided why not check it out. I haven't seen this in quite some time. I loved it when I was younger. It's fun, crazy, wacky. And then this one was a blind buy. It was $3.99. It looked like a creepy cover. Marronnier, I guess, you know, it's like marionettes, but a doll horror movie. I believe it's a Japanese horror. I picked this one up. I'm always looking for a diamond in the rough, but usually all I find are turds. So, you know, hopefully it won't be a turd, but if you've seen this, definitely let me know what you think. So I don't really know anything about this. It was cheap. I decided, you know, why the heck not? It looks creepy. Aliens freak me out, and like creepy little kids freak me out, and dolls kind of freak me out. Those are the horror elements that kind of weird me out a little bit. Clowns, I know a lot of people are freaked out by clowns. Clowns never did it for me. Like the movie It. I'm sorry, I didn't really care for the movie It. I didn't find it scary at all. I don't know, but this looked kind of creepy, so figured why not give it a shot. If anybody's ever seen it or even heard of it, because I know I haven't, definitely let me know what you think about it. And those are my pickups right there. Marronnier, like marionette, I guess. UHF, some classic cheesy fun right there. Thirst, this was pretty good. Check it out. I Sell the Dead, also very funny and entertaining. The Fourth Kind, I would say rent it. I don't know, I was disappointed in it. I was looking for something a little bit creepier, but I'll never look at owls the same way again. And I always liked Alaska. I'm never moving to Alaska now. And The Collector, I freaking love this movie. I'm gonna buy this movie. I really did enjoy it. Some great gore in it. I wish they would go a little bit more in depth about the Collector himself, certain aspects of that, the Collector theme. But again, I really did enjoy it. Some good gore, and I hope they do more in that series as well. So those are my pickups. If you've seen any of these, definitely let me know what you think of them, and hope everybody's doing well.